What is good, everybody? My name is the Coaster King. Today, we're doing the top 10 coasters at Hershey Park. Uh, I did just go to this park. That's why I'm posting so many videos about it. It was one of my favorite parks I've ever been to. That's going to be interesting to look at where my top 10 is and kind of where other rides are going to rank in them. So, without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Starting off number 10 is going to be Wildcat. I really try not to say this too much because coaster enthusiasts say it too much. But this needs the RMC treatment. It has probably one of the most spacious areas in the park for any coaster, so they can really RMC it. And for the ride itself, I rode it one time in the back rail, and that was enough. I've been in El Toro. I think it was 13 times in a row, sitting down on it. But yeah, and this I only wanted one on it. I only could do one. So that just says how rough it is. It's absolutely brutal. You don't really get too much airtime. It's almost like mistaken airtime. Like they mess up the track at some points. So there's like bumps in the track and you get airtime then, but not on the hill. So um absolutely not very good ride. But one thing I did like was actually it was pretty cool layout. It really like works with itself, which is something I really like in coasters, where it interacts with itself. If RMC can work with that, that would be so cool. But yeah, just not that good a ride, very rough, not that much airtime. Number 9 is going to be the other wooden coaster on the other side of the park. One of the three actually is going to be Comet. This is the oldest ride at Hershey. Um, Actually, oldest wooden ride at Hershey, I believe. I don't know if it's older than Super Duper Looper, but whatever. So Comet was surprisingly decent. When you see this thing and you see how old it is, you're thinking, "Oh man, this is gonna be tough." So I went on this ride in the front row for the credit, and it was not that good. Really wasn't that good. But I did get some airtime, and it was not as rough as I expected. So Wildcat was much rougher, but this I had some weird moments of airtime, especially towards the end, and it was not as rough. But I just wouldn't go on the ride again. I only went on one time because literally Skyrush is right next to it. So yeah. Coming at number 8 is Super Duper Looper. This ride is one of the ones I didn't get to go on just because of 2020. They closed a couple different rides for the year, and Super Duper Looper is one of them. Didn't get to ride it, but based on the POVs, and I've been on obviously similar coasters, so just not that great of a ride, but seems pretty cool. Like how obviously it's history and stuff, but other than the history, it's not that good of a ride compared to some of the other ones in the park, like the one right across from it, Skyrush. Yeah, you just aren't gonna make too many forces on these type of coasters, and that's kind of why it's here at number 8. Number 7 is gonna be the Laugh Track. This might be a little low for this is relatively new coaster. It's a spinning coaster indoors. I did like it. I think yeah, it is my favorite spinning coaster. But just because of the amount of amazing rides the park has, this is at number 7. It was really cool how some of the elements of the ride were like twisty and turny, really cool. It definitely differentiated itself from other spinning coasters that I've been on. Um, Obviously, no airtime. It's a spinning coaster. I don't think it's spun enough, in my opinion. Some of the other ones, like Pandemonium, actually spin more. But still a fun ride. Definitely could even better if it's spun more, but still definitely a lot of fun. Number 6 is the Lightning Racer, the dueling wooden coaster. Um, this was the last wooden coaster I went on. I went Comet first, and then Wildcat, then this. And after the other two, I was expecting a rough, absolutely brutal ride, but it was really not rough. It was relatively smooth, and I got some good airtime. I really like the dueling factor. Um, Obviously, it's really cool to interact with itself and see the other train go ahead of you. It is random who wins, so it's not like alternating or one every time. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I was just surprised how smooth it was and the actual forces you did get. Sometimes these rides are rough and you don't get any airtime, like the one across from it, Wildcat, but this was the exact opposite. And that's why it's up here at number 6. Number 5 is Great Bear. This is starting to get to the elite coasters. Great Bear is my favorite being an inverted coaster. A lot of fun. I love their pre-drop section. It looks weird, but it's actually really cool. Very forceful, and you go into that drop with actual speed. I think this is what I said when I got off this ride. This is what the Batman clone should have been, and that I stand by that today. I think if the Batman clones were this, that it would be awesome, it'd be so much more popular. The ride had some great elements. Some of the courses were great. Some of the loops are great. The one thing I didn't like is at the end it kind of dilly-dallies around a little bit, doesn't do much. Sometimes there's like an interruption between some of the elements, and that kind of interrupts the ride a little bit. But still, it's a great ride, a great invert. Yeah. Moving on to number 4, it's gonna be Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit was an awesome ride. I'd been on Rip Ride Rocket, which I think is kind of similar, but Fahrenheit might be a little different, might be a little better. Fahrenheit was pretty rougher than I expected, to be honest. I rode it 3 or 4 times, and it was good. I didn't get too many forces, except that there's one airtime hill where you get thrown out of your seat. Great ejector airtime, and there's some float points. But other than that, you might gray out because of the intensity and the roughness kind of hurt. It could have been a little smoother. That's my thing that I would like to say about it. That if it was smoother, it might be a little higher on this list. Number 3 is going to be Storm Runner. This is another one that was closed, but I've been on pretty similar rides, and judging off of the POVs, other people's reviews and stuff like that, I put it in number 3. I think it's a fair spot for it. Yeah, from what I've heard, obviously I've been on it. Good ride, lots of fun, underrated, but I just can't put it above the next 2 coasters. I just don't think that. Those other 2 coasters are world renowned now. They're the elite of the elite, and Storm Runner's kind of not at that tier. So that's why I had it at number 3. I think it is better than Great Bear and the other coaster I just talked about. Fahrenheit. Number 2 is Candymonium. I'm sure a lot of people wanted this at number 1, but don't get discouraged about how good this ride is. This ride is absolutely awesome. You get some great floater airtime, great ejector airtime. The drop is insane. Those airtime hills are awesome. That wave turn is awesome. I like how it uses the entrance to its advantage and kind of interacts with its entrance and itself there at the end. Definitely like a unique element to this being an invert. Awesome ride. It's in my top 10. Love it. One of my favorite B&M inverts. Awesome ride. The reason why it can't be number 1 for me is just because of the length. I feel like a lot of the B&M hypers that I've been on were very long, and they were much more enjoyable compared to this, and that's why I can only have it number 2. Number 1 is going to be Skyrush. I'm sure everybody did the math on which one's going to be number 1. This ride blew me away. Let me tell you that. I had some good expectations for it, high hopes, but they blew them all away. You fly off that lift hill, get some insane ejector airtime throughout this ride, some insane laterals that really I never experienced before on any other coaster. So that's why I have it number 1. It is my number 1 personal favorite as well. I absolutely loved everything about this coaster. One thing I do want to say is that sometimes people say it hurt your legs. They call it thigh crush. The people I was with, about half and half, said it didn't hurt. Didn't hurt me at all. I don't know why. Just didn't. I wrote it like a million times. How many times I wrote it? Yeah, I wrote it a lot of times. Never hurt me once. Awesome ride. Some insane airtime. It does kind of staple you a little bit, just because of how fast it's going and everything. But yeah, still a fun ride. You get thrown out of your seat. I love the laterals on it. I really can't complain anything about this ride. I think it's very, very good. I didn't think the length was a problem. The length was fine for me. Yeah, it's an intense ride, so I did gray out a few points, but I gray out on a lot of coasters other people don't gray out on, so don't take that for anything either. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about the video and what you guys thought about my rankings. I'll see you guys next time.